think I'm stunned to be in this position. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. And it's part of the season, the ebbs and tides of the season. It's the first season we've gone through something like this at the end of the season. So you try to make the best of it, and you try to come out of it, and you put your head down and you keep working. We just have to win a game on Saturday, and we'll see. We made this bed. We understand that. We can't do anything on Sunday unless we win on Saturday.
I'm sure plenty of Buccaneers fans are upset by the fact that the organization's success this decade hasn't resulted in a higher national profile for the organization. They won Super Bowl 55. They've won 4 straight division championships since then. They had Tom Brady. They've got Baker Mayfield. They have a very talented team, but they haven't really cracked into that, team that you have to see play no matter what. And it benefits them because could you imagine if they were a team that was a subject of intense attention and scrutiny, what we would be saying about a team that started 6-2, had a week off, and is in a 1-6 free fall ever since then, possibly 1-7. And after that profane rant from Todd Bowles when they lost a few weeks ago to the Falcons, when it was F this and F that and F this and F that, it sounded like Eddie Murphy mocking Bill Cosby with the curse show. Remember that? The curse show. Hello!
Yeah, of course.
I can't say another word beyond hello!
Thank you very much. Good night.
Yeah. P.S. Bye-bye.
You can't say that to people.
I would like to talk to you. All right, so let's keep going here. If the Buccaneers were a team that were in that pantheon of great NFL franchises, we would be already planning the documentary for the fall of the 2025 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And that rant that I mentioned, which included look in the mirror, there hadn't been a whole lot of mirror gazing by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They haven't won a game since then. Rachaad White, who was at one point the starting running back, he's been supplanted by Bucky Irving, but he still plays. He said they're basically floating around and blowing in the wind. And
yeah, I was just going to say, If
you haven't come out of it yet, what makes us think they're going to come out of it this weekend?
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was going to say, Mike. I don't think, and this is, imagine things we're saying in January that we wouldn't dream of saying in September or October, and this is one of them. I think the Carolina Panthers are a better football team than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I trust the Panthers more than I trust the Bucs because it hasn't changed. And see, it could go either way, and I think everybody saw it at the moment when he had that rant, as entertaining as it was. After they blew that game and had a 14-point lead, should have won the game, they didn't. After they blew it, it could go either way. It could go, hey, he's right. We're going to rally. We're going to show everybody what we're about, or you get what you've gotten here. And I don't even think it's a lack of effort or a lack of want to, all the things that coaches say and players say when things aren't going their way. I think it's really the talent we probably overrated some of the talent that they have, and they do miss. This is part of it. This is why we talk about coaches so much. You can't keep losing, just like with the Lions went through the same thing. You can't lose so much of your coaching staff and just think, okay, we got a system in place and it will be business as usual. This is the third different coordinator in the last 3 years for Baker Mayfield. Eventually it catches up, and Mayfield hasn't been as tight, as polished as he's been in the last couple of years, and the defense has fallen off a bit. So like all of these things are coming together. I look at it, and if I had to pick it, I'd say, okay, who do I trust more? Carolina.
Yeah, and all that said, I still think the Buccaneers are going to get their act together and find a way to win the game, even though it may be irrelevant the next day, because if the Falcons beat the Saints, the Panthers win the three-way tiebreaker between Tampa Bay, Carolina, and Atlanta. I think that Baker Mayfield is injured and refuses to come out. Remember when he was with the Browns and there was that
Same
whole thing about whether or not he should come out, should he let the backup play? And yeah, I love his determination. The problem is it's not infecting the other players. It's not spilling over. It's got to be driving him crazy to be with guys who aren't fulfilling their potential, who aren't closing out these games, who aren't getting it done when they've shown they're good enough to get it done. They started the season 6-2. And I'd love to know what happened during the bye week, but something happened. And if they lose this one, and I know Todd Bowles has won the division every year he's had the job, 22, 23, and 24. Could run it to 4 straight. If he runs it to 4 straight, he doesn't have an issue. If they don't win the division, if they lose at home on Saturday, because they could still win on Saturday and not win the division. If they just lose on Saturday, let's just focus it on that. The Buccaneers have done enough screwy things with their coaching position over the past 20 years to make me not rule out anything going forward if they lose on Saturday. And yeah, hey, Todd Bowles won 3 straight division titles. That's fine. But you had a team that was 6-2 and by all appearances objectively talented enough to get to the playoffs, and you fell apart. In the weakest division in football, you fell apart and you failed to finish the job. It will not surprise me if they make a change. They fired Tony Dungy. They fired John Gruden. They hired Greg Schiano. They fired Lovie Smith because they thought Dirk Cutter was going to leave, so they promoted him from offensive coordinator to head coach. They have just done some outside the box. There's a fine line between outside the box and effing nutty. They have done some outside the box things. And the whole nudging Bruce Arians, I know the official word is he chose to walk away. The whole nudging Bruce Arians aside after Tom Brady unretired, that just put him in a position where they couldn't even do a real search. They had to hire Todd Bowles. It was Todd Bowles or Byron Leftwich. They couldn't do a search. And as long as they're winning, that's fine. The moment they're not winning, hey, maybe we'd like to do a search.
Yeah, and there's something to be said. I agree with you. On the Buccaneers. I mean, anything's on the table. If they lose this game, I would not be shocked at any kind of change on the coaching staff, whether it's Bowles being asked to do the Nick Sirianni thing after the 2023 season. Okay, if you want to stay, OC's got to go, DC's got to go, and we're going to tell you, not only that, we're going to tell you who it's going to be, okay? So you want the job or not, and he had to make changes, or it could be the top guy himself. And, Mike, don't you think, like, in some cities, in some markets, it's better to do the steady climb up than it is to come in and start winning division titles, because that's not good enough. So if you come in your first year, like, okay, kind of like what the Lions did. First year, Dan Campbell, they win 3 games. Hey, but, we're building something. And then that second year, they don't make the playoffs, but they're close, and they knock off Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And then we get, now we start to have some success. So, 3 years, 4 years, fans feel like they're going somewhere. Whereas if you win immediately, and maybe you have masked some problems that exist, but you've done such a good coaching job that those problems don't keep you out of the playoffs. Once you win 3 straight division titles and you don't win a lot of playoff games with that, people say, oh, we've plateaued. We got to do something else. Now you probably haven't plateaued. You probably have gotten really good coaching for what you have, and you've overrated your talent a little bit, and we all get impatient, and you start to say, oh, we can do better. They may be able to do better than Todd Bowles, but I think he's done a good job. But it doesn't matter, because their expectations are so their expectations far exceed what's going to happen. Whether they make the playoffs or not. I mean, they're not going to win the Super Bowl, and they may not even make the playoffs.
And they have a hard time filling that stadium up. I mean, when they are mediocre to bad, there are huge swaths of empty seats. Even when they are consistently competitive, there were games earlier this year where they had trouble selling all the tickets. That's a big part of it. That's why they love Tom Brady. Remember, they added extra seats to the stadium when Tom Brady was in town. So, hey, last thing I'll say on this before we break. I remember a year ago, Lombo, the Bill Belichick consigliere right-hand man at North Carolina, was trying to start a rumor that Todd Bowles was going to retire. Why would Lombo have done that? What's the one job that Bill Belichick would be, could be, maybe still eyeing? And what's the one ownership group that would do something that unpredictable. I don't think it's going to happen, but man, I don't know if Lombo hadn't completely disappeared from view, once things started to not go well in North Carolina, he wasn't on any show that you turned on at any given moment except this one. I'd love to hear what he thinks about Todd Bowles right now. I'd love to hear if he's hearing that Todd Bowles is going to retire again, because that is one spot. All seriousness, that's one spot that I would not say this is absolutely crazy if I heard they were thinking about hiring Bill Belichick. Not that he would want to go there, not that they would do it, but that's just one spot where it wouldn't be crazy, because they've done enough things that are objectively crazy to make this not.
Then that would set up another comparison. You mentioned Tom Brady, okay? Belichick and Brady. Hey, we had Tom Brady here. He got us to a Super Bowl. He won us a Super Bowl. What you got? I mean, you can't just come there and win divisions. This Bill Belichick, we expect the Super Bowl just like your guy Brady got us.
Well, either way, however it goes on Saturday, it could be laying the foundation for change. You know, there aren't as many clear and obvious these jobs are going to open up. A lot of it, I think, may come down to this weekend. A lot of it may come down to playoff runs. The one job that seems destined to change right now is the Raiders. For the rest of them, who knows what will happen. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.